I want to transition from being a consumer to being a maker, right? All the wealth in this world is generated by makers of things. In our population, you've got 97% of the people, they're takers. Not takers in a bad way where they're leeching. They're takers because they're consumers. I got into the software business really by accident. Actually, it's a function of another book that it's so cliche. My whole life, it's just...
You read a lot.
It's just a big cliche, I guess. Another book that nobody's ever heard of called 4 Hour Workweek. When I got laid off from my Wall Street job, we were renting this beach house in the Hamptons with a bunch of my buddies that I could no longer afford, but we had already paid for the remainder of the summer. And so I got laid off on like a Thursday morning, and so I called my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife actually, and I said, "Hey, I just got fired. You want to go to the beach?" She was like, "Yeah, I'll take the day off."
Sweet.
And so we took the bus to Hamptons, and I had this book in front of me. It had just come out, and in that book he talked about importance of creating diversified streams of income and how easy it is to start an online business. And I was at a point in my life where like, what am I going to do with my life? And I knew I wanted to do real estate, but I was like, hey, I don't know if this real estate thing is going to work out. Maybe it doesn't. What else am I good at? What other value can I offer to the world? Maybe I can potentially monetize. And I had already built kind of a spreadsheet for myself that I was using to look at deals and evaluate deals that I was looking to buy. And I was good at financial modeling. Like, that's what I did on Wall Street. I did financial modeling. I did complicated Excel spreadsheets and complicated financial models. And so I said, hey, let me give this a shot. And I built the first version of the software. I didn't know anything about building websites, creating software, merchant accounts, Google AdWords, marketing, writing sales copy, creating video sales letter. I knew nothing. But early 2009, I built the first version of this software, and I built the ugliest website you've ever seen in your entire life. It's just awful. And I clicked live, and I sat there. But I'll go back a little bit. When I was plotting my escape from work, one of the things I vowed to do was, it was like almost this mantra. I said, like, I want to transition from being a consumer to being a maker, right? All the wealth in this world is generated by makers of things, whether it's makers of products or it's makers of real estate or it's makers of culture, popular culture, but it's makers. In our population, you've got 97% of the people, they're takers. Not takers in a bad way where they're leeching. They're takers because they're consumers. And then you've got makers. Makers are the ones generating all the wealth. And so I knew that whatever I end up doing, I want to build businesses and I want to make things. And so I launched this software and I went live with my website, and I just sat there waiting for money to roll in because now I'm a maker, right?
Right.
Now it was like an important symbolic step. I'm now a maker of something. And so that was January 2009. Over the course of that year, my total revenues from my software business was $800.
Nice.
$800 for the whole year. I think a lot of people at that point would have quit. I was too stubborn to quit. And I had time. I was lucky, right? I kept learning about how to create better products, how to make things more user-friendly, how to do marketing better. And in the second year, our total revenues went up for the whole year, went up to like $9,000.
Nice.
Revenue, right? Like, that's gross. That's not net. That's just what we brought in, which is laughable, right? Like, it's okay, maybe it's time to wrap up the business. But no, I'm too stubborn to quit. And I had really no other choice, because what was I going to do? Go back to work? And I was learning a ton. It was really interesting to me. And what was really important to me was, even though we weren't really selling much yet, it was still that act of, I created something. Mm-hmm. And there's at least a few people willing to pay me money for this thing. So some people see value in it. And so I kept iterating the product. And these were still Excel spreadsheets. But by 2013 or 2014, I was selling 7 figures worth of Excel spreadsheets online.